What is up, everybody? It is the Draco Meteorologist back again, this time for week 4 of the TPL. Spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Last week we ended up taking another loss, so that brings our total to 1 and 2 with -2 diff to a pretty good Sun team. I thought I prepped pretty well. I just played like a moron. If you watched the video, I forgot about Vacuum Wave on Infernape and just switched in Qianpao and just died for free. So that kind of sucked. But he had a good team. Infernape kind of blew a hole into my team a little bit more than I originally expected, especially once he got a nasty plot up. I didn't have a whole bunch that could really threaten to KO it back. So was really good by him. Looking into this upcoming week, we are going to be playing up against the Lando T's, I believe, or something like the Fighting Lando T's. We'll get right into their matchup here. So, as we look at this team, we got Great Tusk, Tornadus T, Ogrepon, Hearthflame, Screamtail, Empoleon, Dunsparce, Overquill, Chestnut, Mismagus, as well as, I always forget this Pokemon's name, and I can't read it very well down here, as well as Volbeat. There we go. I think he's got a pretty good team. 3 offensive threats in Great Tusk, Tornadus, and Hearthflame do a pretty good job of breaking through my team. And then they've got relatively decent flexible Pokemon as well. I really think this is one of the few matchups where I looked at it and was like, I could see everything, even this little stinky Volbeat. Prankster T-Wave is real, especially into my team. I think that is legitimate. So it was difficult to prep, so I went with something a little bit easier. Realistically, again, I don't really know what's gonna come. I think a lot of it has merit. I think almost guaranteed we're gonna have Great Tusk, Tornadus, as well as Hearthflame. Maybe Empoleon to try to tank some of the ice moves from Qianpao, but defensively there's not a whole lot on his team that really wants to come in and take Qianpao's hits. I think Dunsparce would probably be the one that does it the best. And again, he'll be taking a lot of damage to my Life Orb set. So we'll see what he ends up bringing. I think it really can be anything, so it was difficult to prep, so I went with a relatively basic offensive team here. So let's get right into that. We started off with Qianpao, who is running the Life Orb 4-item set. Pretty classic. I was between Shard as well as Swords Dance. Ended up going with Ice Shard here at the end, just for a little bit of priority. I am a little bit afraid of like Hearthflame and perhaps even Great Tusk getting a +1 from Trailblaze or Rapid Spin, so not being able to have a move to hit them is a little bit scary. So that's the main reason why I went with Shard instead. Otherwise, Icicle Crash, Crunch, Sacred Sword is going to hit everybody for super effective damage on his team, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, pretty basic set. Let's go into our next Pokemon. We got Gliscor. This one's going to be a little bit different. I thought that Flying move plus Earth move was really good into this guy's team. So I'm actually going with a pretty speedy Swords Dance, Dual Wing Beat, Earthquake, and Facade set. So this is going to be really nice to basically hit everything super effective into his team. I do get outsped by both the Tornadus as well as the Hearthflame. But as long as I have like 60% or more HP, I'm not dying to any unboosted move from them. So it's something where, again, they'll also have to like click move in front of my face if that does get to that point. But this kind of really deals with a lot of the things below that speed tier, which I really liked. So something a little bit different too. Next, we've got Cinderace rocking his Choice Scarf. Again, back this week. Cinderace had a funky job last week of running an Assault Vest to stop a Venusaur. Did its job. This week, I want that speed control. Like I said, pretty easy for both Tusk as well as Hearthflame, I think, in my opinion, to get that +1 speed. So I wanted to make sure I had something that could come in, outspeed it, and then potentially even revenge kill it. Tusk is going to be a little bit tougher to revenge kill, but Hearthflame I should either KO with a Pyro Ball or a super effective U-turn. So depending on the bulk, I don't see this being a super bulky set. But yeah, outspeeding everything +1 is the main thing for this guy's job. Next we got Iron Jugulis, our Terra Captain, and he's going to go Terra Fly. This guy's really weak to flying, so I am rocking a Choice Specs on him, as well as Modest. So I really just put in enough speed to get over that 301 mark of Great Tusk. Mismagus is going to, who typically I can outspeed, is going to be able to outspeed me this week. I don't know if that'll come or not, Mismagus. It's potentially okay. I really don't know, but if it does come, I felt like the choice specs plus modest calcs were just a little bit better than going timid. This also allows me to have a little bit more bulk as well, other than basically running full speed, full special attack. I'm almost always going to be clicking Terra Blast. If I really think like Empoleon, which is like the only thing that can come in and take this for, negative damage or not very effective damage, then I have Earth Power for that, or maybe Dark Pulse if I want to click something um, a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Less likely or a little safer, I should say, is a good word. So this thing is going to be breaking holes through this guy's team. Next, we have our newest member of the team, Petrarunt. So last week, Petrarunt was dropped in our league. This is actually the first time I'm playing with, transactions during the season. So I ended up going to pick up Petrarunt, who was originally who I wanted on that 2-3 turn right away, and I had to drop Okidogi basically for this Pokemon. So Okidogi no longer on the team. He did come every week. However, he was more of that physically defensive check, and Petrarunt just does that job better, as well as has Parting Shot, right? So also having a Ghost type for my hazard stacks is pretty nice for my team. If I ever want to put up hazards, it's something I looked at before. I've just been allergic to clicking Stealth Rocks when I've had a lot of opportunities to do so. So that kind of sucks. But I just think Petrarunt's a very strong Pokemon. So believe it or not, that's what this thing is doing this week. Is it's going to be that physical check, specifically to Ogerpon Hearthflame. Hearthflame, if you ever click Swords Dance, +1 Ivy Cudgel, as well as Stomping Tantrum, those are both the same damage moves, and to me, are not going to be one-shotting. And then I have a decent amount of special attack to make sure that I one-shot it back with Malignant Chain after rocks. So 75% min, I think like 88% max or something like that. It's going to basically be taking those physical attacking hits from Ogerpon, as well as, just get a little bit of parting shot here or there. Our last Pokemon, Stinky Tinky, is coming for the first time, Tinkaton. This is going to be our dedicated lead with Stealth Rock, Encore, Thunder Wave, and Ice Hammer. I want to put up rocks right away. I do think this Pokemon lets in Great Tusk, so we'll see what he ends up leading, because it really could be anything. I'm a little nervous if Tusk gets in and I click Stealth Rocks. He gets Rapid Spin up on something, right? I don't really want to bring in my Petrarunt into him because, Headlong Rush or Earthquake is really going to be hurting me. I was thinking about perhaps just going a Balloon on Tinkaton to kind of stop that. Realistically, I still could. I might do that. We'll see. A little last minute change. But otherwise, I think this is going to be a really good check for Tornadus T. It's got a decent amount of special defense bulk. It's got a good amount of speed to outspeed everything. If the Great Tusk does come in, or I'm catching it, clicking bulk up with that sort of set or something like that, I have the Encore for that as well. The Akaberry to take a fire move, either from Ogerpon Hearthflame if that's the lead. I'll live one of those as well as get a nice T-Wave off would be my plan, just to kind of really neuter that thing's speed. I think would be really important. So this is kind of going to be a dedicated, almost sack really, but if it gets a T-Wave and Stealth Rocks up, I'll be happy with it. So there you have it. That is going to be our team for week 4 of the TPL. I'll be playing here shortly, so wish me luck, and I'll see you there. Alrighty, week 4 match coming up. Alright, there we go. Main 3 I expected. I'm not surprised by this. I could likely see like a Terra Ghost to Dunsparce, but let's take a look at their other Terras here. Ghost, Normal, Fairy. So it was always going to be Poppy lead here. And we'll see kind of what he does. I could see a lot of leads from him. Maybe Empoleon to get like a slow flip or rocks up. Something like that. Dunsparce wouldn't be bad either. All of our people are ladies today, is what it looks like. That's kind of fun. At least I went 50-50. To Dunsparce. I think getting rocks up here is nice. If he coils, I'm totally fine with being T-waved. We're going to get our rocks up. If he starts setting up, I have Encore. Calm Mind, Encore. The most likely person is Tusk, right? So I feel like going into Cinderace here is good. Or Juggy. Just start kind of breaking through something, right? I think Cinderace is probably the play here. Yep, that's fine. No boots. We're gonna click U-turn on this guy. Oh, it could be Scarf. Could be Scarf. It is not. Could see what that damage is here quick. A Cinderace into Great Tusk. My god, he's got a million different sets. U-turn, 11 to 13. Wow. Is this like a negative defense nature? Alright. I've got 2 immunities. I'm basically into everything. He's likely packing, yep, a spinner or something. I think chip on this is really nice. Getting like a Malignant Chain or like a Shadow Ball. Perhaps even like a Parting Shot would be good too. I think chip overall is good. So we'll do that. Yep, okay. I want to keep the balloon, so I think it's just a Parting Shot angle here. I definitely forgot about that. Wow. That's what you call dumb, Ryan. That is what you call dumb. Poppy has done its thing. That sucks. I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. Like, fucking whatever. Like, I know it has competitive. Clicking a T-Wave here. Oh wait, this thing clicked Roost. I think I Encore here. I mean, it's like obviously it's obviously gonna switch, right? Because it knows that I have Encore, but like I think it's required. I believe it's required. Yeah, this is fine. All right, you again. This was our dedicated Ogerpon switch. Swords Dance looks fine. I just can't get crit. That is the main thing. I cannot get crit. If I get crit, that is sad. Nice. I think it's just another Shadow Ball. I could recover. I think it's a Shadow Ball. Tusk likely comes in, right? I think just the chip is going to be nice for Chien-Pao, as well as just my breakers here at the end. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. I think rocks are the most likely here. At least in my eyes. I mean, this thing does get Earthquake, but I'm not really scared of it. Big crit. Gotta recover up. Got to recover up. I don't know what his play is here. I could probably hard switch into like Tusk. I think would put me in a pretty tough spot. I really do want to keep these rocks up. I think the rocks are really nice. Really glad I didn't go Gliscor, who I was kind of thinking of there. We could take a look at this Empoleon's damage based off of what I did with Pecharunt here. A Shadow Ball 28 to 33, is that about what it did? 26? So it's got a little bit of bulk. Not a whole lot. Probably max HP would make sense. I think Stealth Rock, in my mind, makes the most sense in front of this thing's face. If it has it. Yeah, this is fine. I don't know. I don't know what to do in this thing's face. How important is this Pokemon? Pretty important. Pretty important. How important is Chip into this thing? It's probably a really offensive set. So I'm just like dead, no matter what, right? Like, yeah, let's take off the air balloon because I no longer have it. Shadow Ball Chip is really nice and keeping. I don't want this to get +1 speed. I think I kind of have to sack this. I think I need the chip on Tusk, and then I can revenge with Cinderace. Or Jugulis probably would be the better one. All right, I need the chip. Oh, nice. I live that. This thing is AV. That is what this thing is. This thing is AV. That makes sense. Spin, Earthquake, Spinner, close combat. If I am doing that little +1 special defense. Yeah, this thing is bulky. Max special defense probably, max speed. The chip was nice. How much are you doing? Oh, you're killing. Yeah, it's just a sack. It's definitely a sack angle. Yep, that's good. And we just hit it with a Terra Blast. How much does Earth Power do? Not enough. How much is this doing to Empo? Who's the most likely switch in, right? Not quite getting there, but I think I have to click it. You, I think, are dead. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that hurt. That was good for me for sure. Likely can calc specs off of that. Just because I would assume, yeah, I never kill without a crit there. I mean, we take those. We definitely do. He calc specs. I take a hit from everything right now too. I think the only thing I wouldn't want is like a glare onto Dunsparce. It was a Calm Mind set though. And after rocks. Yeah, I don't know what his answer is. It's probably Empoleon. But Empoleon's really not doing any damage to me back, right? EV'd that wrong. I mean, yeah, that's possible. Just because he should have been living if he had any bulk, or a good amount of bulk. 65 to 77. Crit. 98 to 60. Yeah. 98 to 116 with 0 bulk. So, like, if he had. No, after rocks, like, he needed to have a lot of special defense. Empo comes in, probably clicks Surf or Ice move. I like having this healthy. I really do. It's definitely a switch out. I think. I am unsure to who at this point. Let's go into Glycor EQ doing a lot of damage here. Oh, this guy has Vacuum Wave, Ryan. Let's remember that. Let's remember that. Can't do that 2 times in a row. Cinderace. I think maybe getting a T-Wave off or encoring this thing would be nice. So let's do that. Yep, and now I'm assuming Great Tusk, right? So double into Qianpao is what I'm going to do. Could be very pivotal, right? If this thing stays in, I have to go out. It's a requirement. Yep, that works. And we click a move that's guaranteed to kill. Which I think is just Crunch here. Yep, that's good. He sees Life Orb. Yep. Let's not forget this time. This guy is honestly really fucking annoying. Hard to break. I think it's just a Tinkaton. Yep, good with that. I think it's an Ice Hammer, right? Or maybe he stays in. Nice. Encore that. Probably a Tusk, right? Like that would make sense to me. Tusk. Get a spin off, get these rocks gone. So getting any sort of chip on Tusk is great. We know it's probably like max speed, max special defense with an AV. Oh, to Dunsparce. I think we T-Wave you. I should still be faster. Unless this thing is packing a lot of speed. You know, this is Pokemon. This is Pokemon. I think we do that again. Let's in Tusk, which sucks. We're getting good chip on this. We got its Terra as well. Like he probably wants. Do I think he goes into Tusk? If so, this is kind of just like a sack angle. Do I need the chip on Tusk? No, I always have a revenge. How much is Gliscor doing to that Great Tusk set with no HP? 45 to 55. The Ice Hammer would be really nice. And it's 50-50. I mean, to me, I think I click Boom Burst again. Nice. I'm good with that. And I think just a nice Ice Hammer. Ice Hammer would be good. This thing is dead. Torn looks a little scary. I do always have a way to outspeed it. It hasn't come in yet, which is kind of... Man! This is so lame! At least you get to encore it. Yep, we're good with that. Get a T-Wave off on you. Nice! Yeah, I mean, Tinkaton put in work there. That is for sure. What was... Shadow Ball, 26%. Patch into Empoleon. Probably very physically bulky. Or how much... Oh, to Surf crit. Yeah, see, that sucks about crits. I think that's the only time it actually hit a move to Surf crit. Yeah, no special attack investment there. Shadow Ball. So this, let's just assume max HP, max defense. I have Cinderace, Bold, High Jump Kick. Isn't always getting there. What would be better? Jugulis, Earth Power, also not getting there. Wow, just by a tiny bit too. Oh, that sucks. I think I do this and lock myself into High Jump Kick. Or how much? I think we go you. You know I'm Specs. I think a Dark Pulse is good here. Right? Dark Pulse is the neutral click. So I'm going to do that. Like Torn would be the most likely person. If you stay in, I have a flinch and a para chance. His last move is probably Ice Beam, right? Or maybe he just keeps Surf for the Gliscor. He probably doesn't need Ice Beam. It's been a close game, that is for sure. Yep, okay. Big damage. I'm still faster. More than likely. Yeah, yep, I'm still faster. If Tinkaton, who also had 301. Great Tusk comes in. this comes in, I just think I keep clicking. Like, it's faster, but like, I don't think he has anything to kill me in one, right? Terra Fly? Do you pack an Ice Beam? No. I think I just keep clicking. It's a good knockoff. It is a good knockoff. But now I get to Terra Fly. Now I just click buttons until this thing is dead. Did we see it take, yep, it took rocks. This should die to this. Plus Earth Power. I'm no longer specs. Let's take that off. Earth Power 55 to 65. Yeah. But again, I just think the Dark Pulse looks good. Like, yeah, I think Dark Pulse is the click still. Like, because Earth Power seems likely, right? That would be my thought process at least. And I don't want to get this guy to get his regenerator back up. Yep, nice. I'm reading your mind, sir. Oh! Don't flinch. That was big. I don't think Vacuum Wave kills. It's pretty weak. Yeah, I don't know. I think based off of what my opponent says, I don't know if he threw this. I mean, does Vacuum Wave kill? I am terrifying. No. So, just click Earth Power. Yeah, I mean, Jugulis is going crazy. That is for sure. Wow. Wow, look at that. Okay, really good comeback win. We are now 2-2 with plus differential again. So we'll probably be in the middle of the pack in the standings. I actually haven't looked at them in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, Jugulis came in crazy. I think I legitimately think I only brought in 3 Pokemon, and that was Pecharunt, Tinkaton, and Iron Jugulis, which is kind of crazy to say. But it just really showcased how good Terrafly Jugulis was. I do think the knockoff might have been the throw, right? I think that would be the one spot where me being able to then pick my moves with the wall breaking not being as necessary, like with Dunsparce being dead. That would be my only thing where I'd be like, I probably wouldn't have done that. But it was tough. Once I got this thing in front of its face, I knew Torn wasn't going to be doing too much damage. I was full HP. You know, Hearthflame was dead. That was going to be the main thing that outsped me and really dealt with me. So that was really good. But I mean, GG's to my opponent. I think I just clicked really well this time. I feel like I made all the right reads, which is something that I haven't been doing the last few weeks. I've been playing really safe, and then this week I was playing like, what does my opponent want to do here, and really try to predict it based off of that. So. GG's, great 2-2. We are back in this thing, still in that playoff hunt. I will see you guys next week.